Okay, this is a video response to Mark GlassOrchidAftermath's 200 subs contest. He wanted us to talk about counterculture stuff or music memorabilia. I couldn't understand the fascination with counterculture. I mean, we just have Formica in the kitchen, and you know, one day we hope to go to marble. But and then my wife said, "No, you're completely off on this." So then I remembered the 100 subs contest and how the conversation for a little while went to how a certain percentage of people who entered the contest were going to win the contest, and I knew that that was the counterculture stuff you were going on about, and then I was told again that I was wrong. So I don't really have any counterculture stuff, but I do have some rock memorabilia from way back when I was in high school and stuff. So it's just old T-shirts and stuff that my wife doesn't understand why I hang on to, but she was able to pull out of God knows where for me to show for this crowd. So this is an old Asia T-shirt from the tour that went with the second album, the Horrible Alpha. But anyway, it's a great show. It was good to see those guys in concert. Here's a sleeveless Jeffrey Morgan T-shirt from UB40. That was a great show I saw. Next one is this is from, I think, the 6th time I saw the Waterboys, and this is a Room to Rome T-shirt. This would be probably from very late, early 80s or early 90s. That would have to be early 90s. So that's that one, and then the next one is, this is don't ever buy a concert T-shirt until you've seen the show, because you'll be left with all of your bad memories. This was Dire Straits, On Every Street, and wow, was Mark Knopfler ever an asshole that night. This is just a little bit of music memorabilia that I made myself when I was in university. Pink Floyd had broken up by that time, and there was, you know, it was over as far as we all knew, and I'd never had a chance to see them live, but I'd been a huge fan, and people I was living with were making T-shirts, so I made myself a pink pig shirt. It's just like a pig stencil and stuff, and I wore that proudly for years. Now on to one of the best weeks ever, and this was a week in 1983 where one Friday I saw this show, which was in Toronto. It was the Police Picnic, and that consisted of the Police were headlining, but it opened with Blue Peter, which were like an alternative new wave band from Toronto, and then the Fix, and then James Brown, then Peter Tosh, James Brown, or maybe it was, anyways, the bands were Peter Tosh, James Brown, King Sunny Ade, and the Police. And the most amazing guys were King Sunny Ade. They came on, I guess, second or third in the day, and when the show was over, they all came out into the general admission area at Exhibition Stadium and spent the rest of the day in their King Sunny Ade T-shirts, dancing and socializing with all the people, and just enjoyed like the next 6 hours of the concerts. And they were just the nicest guys. It was just a riot to meet them. So that was the Police. And then 7 days later, it was the Talking Heads, and they played. This was the tour that the movie Stop Making Sense was made from, and they played up in Toronto, up north of Toronto, a place called Kingswood that had just kind of opened. So they didn't really have security down up there, and it was a really fun place to go to because they didn't really know what they were doing with security. And I remember that show because I was supposed to go with a bunch of friends, and they all kind of canceled out, so I went on my own. And it was like the first time I ever went to a concert on my own, and you had to take it was like 3.5 hours of public transit to get to this place. And I remember like trekking an hour to downtown Toronto and getting on a subway car, and wow, it was just full of people that were going up to see the Talking Heads, and they were all like 10 years older than me. I was, I think, 16 at the time, and I don't know. they were all really friendly. We all started to kind of socialize. Then we rode up on like a bus for like an hour together after we finally got off at the end of the subway, and then I kind of hung out with a bunch of people I didn't know all through the show. And you could kind of go wherever you wanted to back then. We had lawns, but you could make it all the way up to the stage because it was literally like weeks after the place opened, and they had no idea what they were doing. But I remember like wanting to go up to the stage, but didn't want to abandon my stuff, and people that I was like had met said, "Oh, just leave your stuff here. We'll keep an eye on it." And lo and behold, like an hour and a half later, it was all still there, and they were passing me wineskins, and it was great. It was great, and in a sense, they were a little counterculture because they were just having a great time, and it was an amazing show. And that concert video, while it's amazing, it doesn't quite capture the feel, of course, of the day. But so that was there. And then finally, I have this, and this is an Indigo Girls T-shirt from the Rites of Passage tour. And I've been a fan of the Indigo Girls since they appeared at the very beginning, and I've got everything they've done and seen them 10, 12, 15 times, can't remember now how many times. And I remember later I was wearing this show to another concert, and I found out they were having a table and they were signing, and they signed the shirt for me here. And anyways, that was great of them to do. And if anybody nowadays would be kind of counterculture, maybe it would be Amy and Emily. They raise money every year for the Honor the Earth Foundation. They are always raising money for the native people in Mexico who are having trouble with the government and the army. They're always donating song proceeds. They donated proceeds from a song to Habitat for Humanity. They're always kind of preaching a positive message, but they're never afraid to tackle a topic. They've covered Buffy St. Marie songs. They've wrote songs about church burnings. They really kind of go for it. So anyway, that's the best I could come up with. And congratulations, Mark, on 200 subs. And you got a great channel, and it's always good to watch. Have a good day. Keep the record spinning.